Sheriff John Cook from Weld County, Colorado. Sheriff, thanks again for your time.
Absolutely. It's a privilege. Thank you.
You bet. All right, so Jay Carney was asked yesterday about the number of sheriffs, including yourself, who have said, we're not going to try to enforce any unconstitutional gun laws. And basically, Jay Carney's response was, well, you better. He said it's the job of these sheriffs to enforce all of the laws of the land, including federal laws. I'm curious what your response is, Sheriff.
Well, I don't take orders from him, is how my response is. I don't enforce unenforceable laws. And as sheriff, I set the priorities for my organization. And my priorities are going after drug dealers, burglars, rapists, not going after law-abiding citizens who the government now is trying to make criminals. And that's on the local level. On the federal level, I think he needs to read the U.S. Supreme Court decision called Prince versus United States, where the U.S. Supreme Court said that local law enforcement can't be compelled to enforce federal gun laws because we're not agents of the federal government.
Yeah, I was thinking about this earlier. It seems to me that the Obama administration's position when they challenged Arizona's SB 71 was that it wasn't the job of local law enforcement to enforce federal immigration law. In Colorado, I assume that there are a number of counties that are not enforcing federal law when it comes to marijuana since the passage of the marijuana law in the state of Colorado. So, it seems to me, Sheriff, that basically what Carney was saying, what the Obama administration wants, is for you to support the laws that they want you to support, ignore the laws they want you to ignore.
Well, that's exactly right, and that's what I tell people, the local news media, the people that criticize me for saying I'm not going to enforce these laws. I throw back at them, President Obama and Eric Holder have decided on their own that they will not enforce the Defense of Marriage Act. They don't enforce their immigration law, and they don't enforce the drug laws here in Colorado. And yet Eric Holder is supposed to be the chief law enforcement official of this country. And I'm just, following his lead. And so if he doesn't want to enforce federal law, why should I enforce laws that I think are unconstitutional? They are kind of hypocritical. They want us to enforce their federal gun laws, but when you ask them about the immigration law in Arizona, the Obama administration took them to court. They said, you can't do that. You can't enforce federal law. Well, you know what? That's true, and we're not going to enforce their federal gun laws either.
What have you been hearing from residents there in Weld County since Governor Hickenlooper signed the gun control bill, Sheriff?
Well, it has been so overwhelming support for me in my position. It's probably running 15 to 1, if not better, in support. There are a lot of people saying, that we support you. You go all the way. They're trying to say, I need to run for governor and that kind of thing. But the response from not only Weld County, but throughout the nation has been overwhelming. I've been getting emails from all over the country, from retired New York City police officers, from retired Detroit police officers, from federal agents. I received a couple from Border Patrol officers. So the response that I've received nationwide has been phenomenal.
Oh, that's very good to hear. And, I know Dave Kopel, research director of the Independence Institute, when we talked with him last, he said that that institute will be filing a lawsuit. He expected that some law enforcement in the state would be signing on. Have you considered signing on to any lawsuit challenging these new state laws?
Well, it's funny you mentioned that. I'm down in Denver, and I just left a meeting from the county sheriffs of Colorado where Dave Kopel spoke to the board of directors, and I'm kind of leading the charge for the sheriffs, the individual sheriffs that want to do the lawsuit. And so, yes, I am probably going to be the first name on that lawsuit suing Governor Hickenlooper. And just from today, we have about 15 to 16 sheriffs that said they will want to do it. I would suspect we'll have over 50 of the elected sheriffs that will sign on individually as plaintiffs against the governor.
Wow. That I gotta say, that sounds like a lot, Sheriff. How many sheriffs are there in the state of Colorado?
There are 62 elected sheriffs, and so we're hoping to have at least 50, and I think we will get 50, if not more.
All right. Well, listen, Sheriff, in the meantime, appreciate you coming on the program, sir, and look forward to talking to you again
Absolutely.
very soon.
Well, good. And thank you so much for having me on.
You bet. My pleasure, Sheriff. Anytime. Sheriff John Cook from Weld County, Colorado.